continuing our series on common facilitator moves and what you can model for teachers and what teachers can then use with students. Today, we're talking about discussion strategies. So this is really critical, not just a whole class discussion, but a lot of different discussion and engagement strategies. It might not even be verbal discussion that you can use when you have crickets, when you ask a question and no one is answering, or you are looking at a teacher's class and you're doing an observation or a walkthrough and you see them ask a question, they're just getting frustrated because no one is answering. So what do you do then? Here are some common moves that I want to share with you. And again, these are in a slide deck that you can grab in the description section below. Grab the link and use them on your own as well. Resource bank. So I'm going to walk you through some of the most common ones. Here is what I do. This is usually what I use for circle, but honestly, anytime that we are inviting folks into a conversation, one that might be emotionally overwhelming, or it might bring up some emotions, I like to kind of create the space for any form of connection. This also works really nicely with students or adults, I guess, who haven't done their homework or who have but just didn't understand it and need a lot more support. This is an entry point, so there is no right or wrong to this question. So all answers are welcome. So I think that's really a nice approach. Anytime you're inviting conversation and you're getting crickets when you ask a question, it may be because people don't really know what they want to say. So here's one you can use. So again, you can use it as a circle prompt. You'll see all my notes down here when you open it up. But I think one of the things that you want to invite first and foremost is a personal experience. This is something that almost everyone can share. Some sort of personal experience that connects, if not to the event or topic, to the emotion underlying a story that you read or something, right? Stories and events in the news, related social issues, a text, and this could be very I always use the text, like not necessarily the written word. So it could be a movie, it could be a song, it could be a music video, it could be a picture, it could be a quote, it could be literally anything, an ad on the subway as I was coming to school. Any other class connections are also welcome. You can add to this list. These are the ones I use. I also like human barometer, or sometimes I call it human thermometer, depending on your students and if it, causes an extra kind of level of challenge to just describe barometer. Then definitely call it what you'd like. This is where people move to one side of the room, agree, disagree. This is the slide I use to just kind of say, here's what this protocol is. And then this is the slide that I use to paste in the statements that I want participants to agree or disagree with. I like doing this with teachers so they can experience it, and then you can invite teachers to do it with students. Write around. I like using write around. Again, this is the slide I show for the agreements. When verbal discussion is lagging and you're just looking for either quiet write time or you're looking for some group work to kind of get some ideas on a poster and they can talk and chat about what they want to write as a group, and then they're going to pass it to the next group. So everyone's saying something, right? They have to share at least one thing they notice, either if we're responding to a text or a specific prompt or a question based on a story we read, whatever it is, and then ask a question or make a connection or some options as well. And then once you go to the second group, you can post a comment or question in response to someone else's. So I think this is, again, really important. When you're looking for engagement, we want to say there are no wrong answers. You can be very creative here for write around and also for collect and display. Sorry, now we're on to collect and display. This is another one that I love for when you get crickets, because at this point, you're just inviting everyone to write something down on a Post-it. So this is individual versus, I think with write around, you can do this as a group. But here, everyone adds a sticky note. So you can even write a question that you have. So have you seen collect and display? It's a math language routine used in illustrative mathematics or illustrative. I never know how to say that. But it is an MLR or mathematical language routine, which invites students to kind of tackle a problem in a multitude of ways. That's one way I've seen it used. There's a variety of ways you could use this. That's my favorite, so I use that. And when I'm thinking about tackling a problem of a question that you're posing for discussion to the class, that might even be that a student is so unsure what the quote unquote right answer is, although ideally we're not asking questions with just one right answer, that they can even write a question or say, I don't know what this word means, so I can't answer it. Or they can say their first step or first thought of how they would solve a problem or what their thinking is around the question. And then you can categorize them. Once you have all the sticky notes up on the board, you can kind of categorize them into different groups. More ideas. You can add a question and do think, talk, open exchange. This is a thinking routine from Rhonda Bondi. I've attended her PD and it's great. I like this slide because it really breaks it down with 4 visuals and kind of 4 steps. People think, So you have that time without people talking at you. You can think about what you want to say. You can talk. Each person talks without interruption, which is great. Then you repeat that for all speakers. Everybody gets think time, talk, think, talk. After the whole triad or however many are in there speak, then you have the open exchange. You can comment on other people's, you can ask questions on what someone else said. I've gone over these 3 in other videos. You could check those out. But these are reflection questions that I like to use as a facilitator. And then I like this protocol, which comes from Harvard's Project Zero project. As always, I want you to engage with these slides. Feel free to use them, personalize them, share them with your team. Just shout out the credits somewhere. I have a podcast that I would love listeners for, or this YouTube channel. So if you want to give thanks in that way, send people my way in that sense. And I hope it brings you so much engagement that you're just like, cannot believe it.